Hello viewers, my name is Elizabeth Otieno. I work for Community in Need Aid, called SINA, as the Assistant Director in charge of Finance and Programs. I'm one of the beneficiaries who attended this peer learning forum workshop, which was conducted by ZOA and NPA. Actually, I can say that it's really eye-opening, informative, and educative. The participation was so active, and members shared learning experience in a transparent manner. These 2 days, especially day number 1 yesterday, we focused more on fundraising, innovation, and challenges. My colleagues who have spoken and those who are still coming to speak might share the same thing, but I want to focus on fundamental issues. Like the fundraising innovation, what really stood out for me was the fact that as national NGOs, we can even fundraise locally. We got an idea where we can use the assets that are at our disposal to generate funds, even if it means generating funds in South Sudanese pounds. We found that this little money, when it's accumulated, can pay even our subordinate staff. And one of the challenges that also came out so profoundly is that there's a lot of competition in the resource mobilization arena. For example, when there's call for proposals and then you find that international NGOs are competing for the same funds with the national NGOs, it becomes so hard for national NGOs, as it was discussed yesterday, for the national NGOs to access those funds, because there's this mindset by many people that the national NGOs do not have capacity. Even those who have capacity, so long as that you have that name national NGO tagged into your name, then there's this capacity, there's this mindset, that you cannot manage funds effectively. But that is something that which has come out so clearly in this meeting, that as civil society organizations, we want to work hand in hand together, especially collaborating in networks, even at the state level, so that we can access funds and help the people who are at the community level. Because number one, and primarily, these national NGOs are here to stay. Even when crises come, problems come, but the others may leave, but the national NGOs are here to stay in the community. And normally, they are the first responders when a crisis occurs. Today, the last day, because it was a 2-day peer learning process, we focused more on civic space. Not many of us are human rights activists, but we all recognize that in our capacity as national NGOs, we are trying to empower the community, the affected population at the local level. And this does not mean that we are anti-government, that the government is our enemies, that we are inciting the local community members. But what we learned is that we can empower them so that the young people can know their rights, the children can also be supported with children's rights, the women together like that, because all these rights are human rights. And when we work together as civil society organization, we can educate the government and other actors so that they may know that whatever they're doing is either wrong, or they're neglecting their responsibility, or that we also just need some space so that we can work together. Otherwise, I know that with this, we can bring South Sudan to the next level. Thank you.
My name is John Ador, commonly known as Long John Storyteller. I'm a founding member of Anataban Arts Initiative and the head of theatre as well. Basically, our 2 days workshop has been very fruitful. Indeed, we've learned a lot, and we've realized that as a civil society organization, the civil society family, we have a lot of work to do. Our space is always ever shrinking, and we've been woken up by the 2 days workshop, and we've realized that indeed this is our space is a battlefield. We are all soldiers trying to fight for our rights, and the rules of soldiers is always either kill or be killed. Indeed, for the 2 days workshop, we learned that for us to be able to move forward with our work, it is very, very vital for us to be in masses, to have very strong connections among ourselves, a very strong network that we can be able to have one voice. One thing for sure is that uniqueness in whatever we do is very, very, very useful. Because believe me or not, even in real human life, a unique person is the one that always stands out. As we learned yesterday in the project proposal of the project engagement, it does not necessarily matter how many words you put in your project, but how you stood out, how you are able to captivate the minds and the hearts and the eyes of the readers, of those that are going to decide on whether you are passed through to the next round of the project, determines how successful you can become. So for us as civil society, we do not necessarily have to just talk. It is good that we do some action so that at least we can look for our space. We need to demand for our space, because it can never be given to us on a silver plate. It is not an easy task. Civil society work is not an easy task. It's a hard task. Believe me or not, I just don't want to scare us, but the truth is, this work that we do as civil society is not for us. It is not for the people that are working within these organizations, but for the common citizens that are inside the civil society, the society in general. Those that are in the grassroots, those that do not have voices, and those that really want to see that the society becomes a better place for them. So, civil society more, let us wake up and demand for our space uniquely. Thank you.
So I hope we will progress, and one thing that I'm going to tell you again is that let us work with a common goal. If we don't work with a common goal, we cannot build the national NGOs, the CBOs, and that is my message to UN agencies who are also working here. You build our capacity, and even if we go wrong, you try also to adjust. The work is not always 100%, and we will be trying also to be accountable, because we have talked about accountability. Accountability is very important, and that is what we do as a humanitarian families. We do account for the work we did, for the resources, and that is how we will progress. So I want to say thank all of you and the society for the work done today. Thank you very much.
Project coordinator of a certain organization called UDA in full school humanitarian development aid. It has its aid office in Juba and the field office in Bob. At the same time, I'm the chairperson of Jonglei State in Nirbo. Really, I'm very grateful for today's session, which we had today's lesson we have shared between ourselves as civil society organization in Jonglei State. We really give thanks to the two organizations of ZOA and NPA for building the resilience of our society in Jonglei State. The activity we have been doing today, or for the last 2 days, is the one which Jonglei Civil Society has been doing with age partners. Jonglei Civil Society was formed with the aim of advocating for the rights of the people who are really disadvantaged in the state or elsewhere in part of South Sudan. We also advocate on good governance and democracy. We also advocate for early child marriages, and this we have intended today. We really share experience between ourselves. We do always call all the CSOs, nationals, professionals, association, academia, come together and share their opinion like we have done today. It's a very good moment that we have really shared how we can write a proposal, how we can implement the activities, because we have different methodologies and modalities of implementing activities at our semantic areas. We have different ways of writing proposals, and today we came together and we shared the experience from different organizations. This is very important, and it's what we are really trying for with all the CSOs to be strengthened on how to write proposals, and how to develop some mechanism of monitoring organization. These are the main focus things some organizations are lacking. And we wish if international organizations to really put more input to support the civil society organization in Jonglei State as well as South Sudan, so that tomorrow they will be left here as strong as they can able to implement any activity in the country. Because later on we wish if the country is going to be stable, there's chance for international NGO to go back, and the one strengthened, the one which has that capacity to implement will do more than to the community. When we talk of the civic space, as we discussed before, it is a process of we are coming together, form association, have freedom of speeches and all this. Do not take us a free seat as civil society organization, go and talk alone. I want to advise all the CSOs, civil society, those who have that ability to be organization, not to talk on his or own behalf, but on behalf of everybody. We sit together as national NGOs or CBOs or civil society agents, sit down and we come up with one speech or one voice, and then we raise it, so that we don't fight with the government. Because government may see us later on when we talk roughly to the government. They may think that we are anti. We are not doing what the government is doing. But we are doing what the government is doing. What the government is doing is what we are doing. We are not a different entity or different institution that is set aside to work alone. No. We are together with the government, and we are being regulated by the government. All in all, I would like to say thank to the partners, Let them keep on doing this as a way of strengthening CPOs. Let them give us more training. Let them think about how they can build up the capacity of other cells who are not funded, and need to progress very well in this state.